We go to Spain, and how does this happen?
What?
A young woman with a troubled past gets gang raped by illegals.
What?
Then tries to end her life by jumping out a fifth floor window.
What the fuck?
Survives, paralyzed,
Hold up.
but in pain.
Wait a minute.
And if that wasn't bad enough, the state steps in and finishes her off by euthanizing her.
What the hell's going on out here?
I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this, all the while her father fought for her life.
How did we get here?
A tragedy that could have been avoided. But it's what's next. What's up, everyone? Jazz Berganzo. What's next? Your daily dose, common sense, facts, and salt. Hope you guys are feeling good today. And yes, it is Saturday, weekend edition. Anyway, of course, due to time constraints, I couldn't get out my content yesterday because there was just so much on the plate. But out of 5 stories that I had initially was going to do yesterday, I whittled it down to 2. This is the first of 2 videos. And this one is the most tragic. We go to Spain, where tragedy could have been easily avoided had someone just listened. A young woman with a troubled past gets gang raped by a bunch of illegals, tries to end her life by jumping out of a 5th floor window. She survives, gets paralyzed, but is in extreme pain. And if that wasn't bad enough, to finish it all off, the state steps in and euthanizes her. Wow. Yes, this is Spain, supposedly a democracy. Not for her. We go to this coming out of Breitbart. Spanish 25-year-old paralyzed gang raped victim dies by euthanasia. And that is her there. Noelia Castillo Ramos, the 25-year-old Spanish gang rape victim from Barcelona who lived a troubled life, died by euthanasia this past Thursday evening. Spanish public broadcaster RTVE reported that Noelia received euthanasia at 6 p.m. local time at the Sant Pere de Ribes social healthcare center in Barcelona. Her death marked the end of a 2-year-long legal battle against her father, who sought to stop the procedure. Castillo, widely known by her first name Noelia, was left enduring a horrific trauma after she was gang raped in 2022. She tried to commit suicide. She tried to end her life, of course, unless this gets clipped, several times after gang raped in October 22. She jumped from a 5th floor window. While she survived the fall, she was left severe and irreversible spinal cord injury that left her paralyzed with severe neuropathic pain. I'm probably mispronouncing the word, and I do apologize. In an interview with Antena 3, Noelia said that the gang rape abuse she received from an ex-boyfriend, and other traumatic situations left her with no goals or plans. I must have misread the story because I thought this was because of illegals in the country. My apologies if that's it. Well, not my apologies because, it's illegals and who gives a... But anyway, sorry about that. In an interview with Antena 3, Noelia said that the gang rape abuse she received from an ex-boyfriend and other traumatic situations left her with no goals or plans. I can't take all these things. They're tormenting me anymore, Noelia said per local news. In 2024, she filed a request to receive euthanasia, which led to a legal battle after her father sought to prevent the procedure with the help of Spanish Foundation for Christian Lawyers. The matter was ultimately brought to European Court of Human Rights. Yeah, after all the venues of appeals were exhausted in Spain. The Human Rights Organization refused to halt the euthanasia procedure. Speaking outside the Barcelona hospital where the procedure was administered, a spokesperson for the Christian Lawyers Foundation described the outcome as a failure of the Spanish healthcare system and lamented that a young woman who clearly has many problems, who's had a very hard life, something we all regret, the only thing that the healthcare system had ultimately been able to offer her is death. We believe that she could have received treatment for her mental illness, support, and a higher level from care a long time ago. Things that would have allowed her to have lived a dignified life, the spokesperson told the reporters. Quote, however, she had no access to any of that and instead was granted straight euthanasia, he continued. We are deeply sorry, and we hope that this case will at least serve to prevent other situations from occurring in the future that will be no more Noelia's. This is Joseph Maria Simon, honorary president of the International Federation of Catholic Medical Associations, expressed the case represent a failure of society and medicine in remarks to the newspaper ABC. If she truly is in pain, I have no doubt that she is, and it's a terrible thing. Modern medicine currently has the tools and the means necessary to relieve her pain, Simone said. She should have been helped without suffering, but under no circumstances should he have been brought closer to death and had the path to death made easier for her. Simone stressed that in Noelia's case illustrates that why euthanasia is a danger to everyone, and has expressed doubt as whether she was fully capable of making such an important decision because of her mental health issues. Doctors, for Christian doctors of Catalonia, told ABC that Noelia's death evidence is a failure of society and responsible public institutions. In this case, the health and social services system has proven incapable of providing adequate solutions for an extreme, vulnerable group, he said. This is an absolute tragedy, and an absolute tragedy that could have been avoided. The last couple sentences were on point, is that situations like this can be easily avoided. We've seen similar situations like this in Canada, where you had one case where you had a veteran of Canadian military who was physically injured. So she reached out to the Canadian government for help, their own Veterans Administration. And so what did she get in return? She got a book, pamphlet, in regards to how to bump yourself off. Fucking Canada. But anyway, we go back to Spain. This is something just tragic. I mean, when you go through the things that she's gone through, and no woman wants to ever experience anything of this, no man wants to ever experiencing anything like this, that for her to get gang raped by an ex-boyfriend, I like I said, I apologize. I thought it was illegals, but then again, that's happened. So yeah, no apologies. But anyway, for this to happen, and then for her not to get the help that she needed after this horrific incident happened, she felt no choice but to try to end her life by jumping out of a window, survives it, gets paralyzed. And then to make matters worse, she says the only way out is to go through the state to have her get bumped off. This is, and I don't mean to be so tongue-in-cheek with this, in regards to how I'm phrasing it, but this is absolute tragedy. Could have been avoided. The states could have stepped in and said, no, we're not going to do this. Here are the facilities along with your father to try to help you through this as much as humanly possible. But no, the state stepped right in, right quick in a hurry, and said, yeah, sure. How's 6 p.m. Thursday night work for you? Nay, man. The state. Nay. And this is Spain. I could see London, with all the Muslim Nazis running around, Canada, which I just explained. But Spain? Really? Wow. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please have a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching as always. And we'll see you next time. Peace.